Hi, everyone. I am here with Mohammed Ziara. He is a doctor in Gaza. Mohammed, please say hello.
Hello everyone. Hello to you, Emily.
And we're very, very grateful to have you on to talk about what you've been going through, your experience since October 7th, and really just want to give you the opportunity to talk about what your day-to-day life has been like. So please introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, my name is Mohammed Ziara. I work in Gaza as a plastic surgeon and burn surgeon actually in the Al Shifa hospital. I've been working since 2013. Originally, I finished my medical school in Egypt, and I started. Resumed my life in Gaza afterward. So I've been through a lot since my graduation, through multiple escalations and aggression on Gaza Strip. I've been through many wars, but other than that, I am working as a full contract doctor, plastic surgeon in Shifa Hospital, and also I work with MSF in the limb reconstruction unit in Al Hospital. So that's it. If you wanna
Where are you
hear
located
about
now?
I am now I'm working at a European Gaza hospital in the south. It's in Khan Yunis.
Okay.
So Gaza City in the north of the Gaza Strip, and Khan Yunis is in the north. I mean in the south. In the south. So Gaza in the north and Khan Yunis in the south. So I evacuated Ashifa Hospital after we get surrounded by the occupation army tanks, and bombing was so heavy around the hospital and even inside the hospital. Once they started shooting and burning the tents of refugees, and many of my medical staff colleagues got injured, and many of the journalists got injured in the Shifa hospital, and there was clear threat to evacuate the hospital. And also a big reason that I've lost my brother
Very sorry.
to one of these attacks. Yeah. Where my family was in the south, taking shelter in my aunt's house. They bombed the adjacent and neighbors in the area, and he got injured in his brain. He spent about 1 week, 1 week or so, in the ICU. I couldn't get to see him or to check up on him, or even to give him any help. So after he passed away, may his soul rest in peace. My father couldn't lose another son, so he asked me for the first time to move out from the hospital and to come to the south. So yeah, I went to the south, and also the trip was much more of a actually a nightmare than a trip to the south.
What was that like, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we evacuated the hospital with two of my colleague doctors. We spent the night in another neighborhood because I couldn't go back to my home. My home was occupied or taken as a military barracks by the army, and they detained my five cousin with their father, and they let go of my cousins' wives and kids. So actually, we didn't know about this until about 3 days later. So I went south. I spent the nights under bombing in another neighborhood, and then I went south, where this what was called the crossing checkpoints, where they were saying about that it's safe and everyone should go south. So once I arrived there, there was a lot. There were a lot of bodies on the ground, and it was like no one can touch it, no one can bury it, no one take it to the hospital or to bury, to even transfer to bury it. So actually, we spent a lot of time moving slowly, very slowly, and there were a lot of people were detained in this area checkpoint, handcuffs and blindfolded. They were put as a human shield in the night, in the middle of the nowhere. No, they are protecting any military against resistant military against them, so no one can shoot at them. And they starting as soon I arrived there, they started to pick up people from the line we were in, and actually women and children were crying, were crying in an hysteric way. So once I arrived there, they started shouting at me, and by description, by the T-shirt I was wearing. And then this soldier was shouting, and I didn't know it was me because I already passed a long way, so it wouldn't be me. I mean, I'm about to exit. So he started to say, you bald one." So I knew it was me. So yeah, it's like that. I went back, and everyone he back. He sat on the floor, on the sand, actually between the tanks. I stayed there for 1 hour, and tanks were moving just next to us, about 1 meter or less. Big tanks and bulldozers. Yeah. And then they started to moving us around, like come to the right, go to the left, and so on. And one time, the many soldiers came out and started pointing guns at us, and trying to scare us, maybe, or something like that. They were like suspecting anything. So after that, they went back and they started to line us up in one line. And I remember this guy with crutches, and he couldn't walk. So they brought him to the front of the line. And after another hour of sitting on the sand, just raising our hand with our ID and on the sand, not moving at all, not even dare to look to any soldier or anyone who's pointing at us. So then this guy started to try to take out his medication from his pocket, and they start shouting at him to stop. And he was like, didn't understand. He got the medication out of his pocket, and it was like this moment I thought they will start shooting at us, and it was like a miracle they didn't. And after that, they asked him not to take any medication or not to move. So they let him go about 20 minutes later, and they also checked on me. They asked me some question about what my name, where I come from, where do I work, and then they let me go. Actually, I've seen everyone comes in and goes behind the hill they were sitting at. They were taking prisoners. They put him blindfolded and handcuffed. They strip all their clothes, all of it, and then make him stay with his only underwear, and then put some in the next to them as a human shield, and some take to a far prison. So I went after they let me release me. I went with my bag to just running catch my friends who were with me. They were waiting. So I didn't want them to call my father or my family to say anything about this, because I was really afraid that he would know, and it would be so much hard on him. Actually, just to notice that my mother and my sisters are outside before the war. Actually, my sister is living in Canada, and she was having her baby, and my mother went to help with her with the delivery and so on. And my other sister is doing diploma in the U.S.
Where is she?
And my other brother, she is in Georgia, I think.
Okay. Georgia,
Yeah.
in the south.
Yeah. It's a bit far.
It's like a 4-hour flight, so a little far.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, a bit far. And my brother is living in France. Since he was graduating from high school.
Wow.
Yeah, he's living and working there as an engineer. So luckily for me, I don't have many of my family, especially the females, who can't understand the situation at all.
Right.
So I'm so relieved that my mother and my sister are not here. After that, I went south. I knew that the army was in my room and my reception in my home. Actually, tie my cousins and take them as prisoners. They used our stuff. They used the kitchen. They used the sofas, and after that they set fire on our house and left, and everything was burned. And we knew the story from my cousins' wives and their mom. So I spent now my day in the Arabian Gaza hospital. After I spent a while going to the hospital for 2 days and taking 1 day off. I was staying with my aunt also, but one day they started going through invasion to Khan Yunis, which is in the south after they finished with Gaza. So the road was cut, so I couldn't go back to my aunt's house and to see my father as usual. So I stayed here in the hospital. I took a room with another doctor here, and after that they started bombing heavily. They destroyed all of Khan Yunis, and they started bombing in Nusayrat, where my family is. It's the so Khan Yunis is between me and my family. They destroyed 2 buildings adjacent, just next to my aunt's house. So they lost all of their walls. They were so lucky, to stay alive. Actually, I went to see them. I went to take them with me, but I couldn't believe they made it. Actually, there's no one stone on another. Only some, the main structure is still standing, but no walls.
Oh.
Yeah, the area is completely destructed. The whole neighborhood was gone.
Yeah.
So I'm spending every day here in the hospital. My father and my brother actually in my room.
Yeah.
We have 1 room with 1 bed and 2 cushions. Yeah.
Cozy quarters, not the best night's sleep, probably.
Well, yeah, but we are maybe much luckier than others who are in the tents and facing cold. I've heard, and I knew some people who died from cold,
From hypothermia,
from starvation, and so on.
Yeah.
So I consider myself very lucky, and I feel sometimes guilty because I have like maybe better situation than others. But you know, I'm trying now every day, working on my patients to finish and to evacuate as many as I can from my patients from here. I actually deal with the complex wounds
Right.
that result from explosive injury and also burns. So we have like the worst wound ever that no one ever seen. This is also with the saying of the all the missions, all the doctors who came here, all the NGOs who worked here now, they said they have never seen such injuries, never, and
What
it's
are they from? Is it
severely.
from like compaction from buildings? Is it chemical wounds? What are the why are the wounds so terrible?
So, firstly, I deal with any wound results from any injury to whoever deal with. I take wounded from the orthopedics injury, you know, the bones fracture and so on. I take wounds from general surgery and vascular surgery. Any open wounds that can't be closed by the surgeon, they give to me and I continue treating them. So we add also a large percentage of the injured are facing severe extensive burn. I've never seen actually. I have my share of experience with burns, and I've seen like fire burn. I've seen scalding burn. I've seen a lot of types of pain, chemical burns, but these kind of burns, it is nothing like I've seen before. It's like full thickness, down to the bone. At arrival, I had charred skin, charred burns at arrival. I've never seen it like this. I've never seen something like that. And also, we had some patients with or injured with the white phosphorus
Yeah.
burn in Gaza. Actually, it was like a disaster. It gives holes, burn and holes in the body of the injured. So that brings us to the main point that these are burns from the bombing. So we didn't. I mean, gunshot is only maybe less than 1% of the injured people. This is not, yeah, a large number. So they all get bombed in houses, get bombed in the streets. Many kids, large. I've never seen this percentage of kids that get this severe injured. They lost. They lost many limbs. I've seen kids lost 2 limbs. I've seen kids lost 3 limbs. Actually, were left with one hand or one upper limb only. Uh, we're trying to save or salvage any as much as we can, but sometimes with the lack of instrument, the lack of supplies, the lack of antibiotic medication, and the laboratory lack, we can't even now do chemistry and lab tests for these kids. Yesterday we lost a kid without knowing how we did. He was complaining of he was suffering from extensive burn, like 40%. He was only 4 years old. We couldn't have any lab test.
Right.
We didn't know what is the lab the blood electrolytes. We didn't know what is his hemoglobin. We also couldn't provide him with albumin or any nutrition that he needs. So this never happened, to lose a guy or to lose a patient in only 5 days
Right.
of his injury. Yeah, this never happened. So yeah, basically it's all explosive burn, explosive injuries. They all, the major vast majority of the patients have faced airstrike mainly. Yeah, the least one, the luckiest one, is having only a tank, maybe military bombing or something like that. So it was like horrific. No one ever have to deal with this kind of injury.
Is there any warning before there's a bombing?
No, no, not really. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no. Actually, at the beginning, they warned a whole city. You see, they told everyone in the Gaza city to evacuate to the south. They didn't know how. They didn't say how. They didn't say when. They didn't say where to go exactly in the south. And you know when you look at Gaza, it is a very small area, very crowded, with a big population. Very very small area. It's about 350 kilometers
Right.
square, and it's all crowded. It's all full of people. Actually, it's already suffering from crowding and big population in small area. So when you ask a whole city to evacuate to the south, this is crazy. This is actually, it's unimaginable. And even though they bombed the people while they are evacuating, they killed hundreds while they are evacuating. So warning is never happened. They warned maybe some big towers, sometimes a little. Yeah, maybe once happened at the beginning. They won one big building, and then they stopped warning. Then they started threat to evacuate the blocks afterward. So they give like two neighbors or five neighborhood to a warning to evacuate. Then they start bombing. Whoever stays, he will be killed. So this warning thing never happened. I can't say it happened.
I'm at loss for words. So, it's a truly an atrocious situation, and doesn't really feel like there's not really much working in your
We
favor.
we really don't know how we survived, and we don't know how we are coping, because at first we were like collapsing and being shocked by hearing that our loved ones are passing away, are being killed. I've lost many friends. I've lost many people I know. I've lost 3 colleagues in the same unit I work in. I lost one surgeon colleague and one physiotherapist and another nurse in the same unit. You see the percentage you are dealing with. I consider myself very very lucky to stay alive, but at first we started to be stunned, to stop for crying, to stop for thinking, to remember these people. But then we didn't have the chance, we didn't have the time, because every second, every hour, we are looking at the news and to see, the social media.
Right.
Every time I open social media and I have a new friend who passed away, who was killed. I have even whole families, whole families. We didn't usually found a single one in a family or something like that. We have whole families. We have many of the fathers who lost his entire family. And actually now in my hospital, I'm treating more than 4 kids who have no one left to be next to them. They lost all the mother, the father, and the brother and sisters.
It's heartbreaking.
So, as I told, yeah, now we didn't have the time, and I'm sure I will find so many people I know after this wars maybe end. I'm sure that I will find so many else I didn't know about their passing away.
What is life like outside the hospital? Is there any aid? Is there any food? I mean, we've seen so many tense intensities. I know people are struggling so much and just, there's rumors of aid coming in, but like, no, there's a massive humanitarian crisis. What does life look like there right now?
Well, we have been through a lot of times. There were times that we didn't have any food. I mean, like nothing. I come here in the hospital and I went through many markets to just to look for anything to eat, to bring home, bring to the hospital, to take food me just when I feel hungry to eat. But I've never seen, never found people were come into the market and go out without finding anything, literally anything. Just they were just like going in, knowing there is nothing in there, and go out. So and there were sometimes we were lucky to have some fruit, like orange fruit. Yeah, that's it. That's all. And sometimes afterward yes, in the hospital we had this meal of some rice without anything, and in the night they bring 3 dates with a carton of juice, small carton of juice. So I didn't think a lot about that because I've been through a lot in the Shifa hospital.
Right.
So I've been through much worse, where there's just we are trying to survive, not to think much about eating. We never had bread, so for me to go back home to my aunt's house and with my family to have like one meal, a good meal, it's okay. That's I would count on for the next 2 days until I come back. So afterward, actually, AIDS started to get in, and flowers start to come, and we had some bread. At the first, it was not easy to bake,
Right.
bread, and later on, actually, I found my friend in here who has had his brother got lost his limb. I got help him, and it's very sad, but I was so relieved to find him in the hospital.
Yeah.
And his mother helped us a lot with baking. So I was treating his brother, doing skin grafts and, taking care of wound. And she was insisting that every time she bake bread, she will bring me some.
Oh,
So,
nothing like a mom
I mean,
needing
I
to be
feel
there,
so sorry. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I feel so sorry for him. I can't imagine myself losing a limb,
Yeah.
but he was a brave one, and they were all happy to that I am there. They know me. I'm familiar with them. They are from the north as me, and here the medical staff is not able to come, not able to come to the hospital like full staff. So they are counting on the Shifa hospital doctors and medical staff nearly fully. So that's bring us back to the food.
Yeah.
So things are getting better now. We have the same food every day nearly, but we have food now. We have some kinds of beans. We have like hummus sometimes, tomato. Maybe some of other canned stuff.
There's some
Actually,
sustenance, a little bit.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I used to be in a good physique. I was working out really, really good, and I had this strict diet, so using only
Gone out the window.
high protein meat. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like you're
Well,
working out every day, saving lives, surviving yourself. No diets here. No.
Yeah, yes, yeah. That's not an option
No,
at all.
no, not at all.
So, yeah, I'm so glad and I'm thankful that we have food now.
Good.
I'm so relieved. Yeah.
It makes me happy to hear. What was it like when the army came to Al Shifa Hospital? What happened?
So they were like bombing every day through many ways. They came through many ways. Ashif Hospital is about maybe 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer from the sea. They came from the sea. They came from the north. They came from the south. Yeah, mainly these three roads, and yeah, we were expecting that things would not be like reaching that point that they will come and enter this hospital. They were threatening it by maybe bombing sometimes. I remember this conference for the spokesman of the IDF, that he said, he was asked, "Are you consider Shifa as a target?" And he was saying, "We have to deal with everyone or everything that considered a threat." And the journalist asked him again, "Are you considering to bombing or targeting a Shifa hospital?" So he said anything could happen. He answered. So at that point, I was like putting in consideration that it would happen, like maybe in the main OT while we were working, this could happen. We were like working under so much stress, but we were helping people. So this is the main thing that we keeps us going. So we had a lot of days that when they start bombing like so heavy, they start cutting the internet and the all the mobile coverage, and they start bombing like you would never imagine, never. Like 1 hours, 2 hours of severe or heavy bombing, just so loud, so loud, and the ground and the buildings start shaking. So once we are now we were used to when they cut the internet and they cut mobile coverage, we know that they will start very heavy, and they start killing and doing massacres. I know you must have heard of the huge number of families that completely erased from the records of the the family records. Yeah. So this is one thing. There's a lot, many stuff, many things, many memories that's happened. I whatever and how much I talk about it, I would not mention just a small portion of we have faced. I mean, every night we were like sleeping in the hospital, imagining that we would be bombed, like imagining the missile getting in the unit in the hospital, and we all being killed or injured. And that's what brought me to say something. So I spent many nights in between, and the nights in my house. It was like it's a big adventure, big risk that I didn't know only afterward.
Yeah.
Because I was hearing the tanks, hearing the engines, hearing the bombing of the tanks. I didn't know that it was like so near. And after the first few weeks of the war and the aggression, we've seen a lot of horrible injuries that we agreed that it would be much better or much even joyful to be killed rather to be injured. Yeah. One of my friends actually trying to take a promise that if he was injured, no one would help him. One of our colleagues. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, to describe the situation in Shifa Hospital, it needs a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time. We had like 50,000, 60,000 people inside the hospital.
Wow.
Who are refugees. I was like stepping in between people, kids, and so on, in the middle of the night, where we were sleeping in the corridors, in the streets of the buildings, and the corridors of the hospital. So it was like I've never imagined anywhere would be like that.
Yeah.
They were taking shelter inside the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's why we had a big rate of infection and bad hygiene, bad ventilation. The corridor were so hard to breathe. I was going my round to my patients, but I couldn't imagine these people were spending the night and the days inside these corridors. You can't breathe. I was fainting sometime. I nearly fainted while I was going through the stairs and going through these corridors to reach the ward I was follow-up patients in. So it was a disaster, and a human disaster with all it means.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, to talk about water and the lack of water. So also is so much bringing many nightmares. Yeah, for 1 week, the last 2 weeks in the Shifa Hospital, we had no water. And then we discovered that one of the gas station near the hospital, that they have like a filter machine and so on. They make water better. So we started going there. It was a big surprise for us, for the staff. So we had finally some water. It was like we couldn't drink any of it.
Yeah.
To talk about taking a bath or to go into the toilet, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, real nightmare. Yeah, you have to stay in line, or you have to go back and forth waiting for the toilet to be empty or not occupied. Yeah, everything was difficult. Every single thing in my day was so difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never imagined that everything I had, every single day, single thing I had in my normal day before the war, I should be thankful, very, very thankful for it. We are taking things for granted, but we are in blessing. We were in blessing, and we are now in blessing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I hope that a better day comes, and I will be appreciating things and look at things very, very differently.
Yeah. What's your dream for Gaza, for Palestine?
The world started to recognize the thing we are in, the injustice which is put on us, the cruelness we face, the siege we had for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
I think people start to recognize that we have been victim and we are suffering since a long time, but the media was lying. The news and the truth wasn't delivered for real. Even now, the Western media is not covering any, but I mean, not even 1% of the truth. They didn't cover the killing. They don't cover the real problem, the way that the genocide is happening, and the way the many massacres happen. There's a lot to talk about, but I know that people really start to know about our case and to start to support us more. They now know that there is Palestinians in occupied areas, many occupied areas, that have the right to live in peace and dignity, as well as in many others, as all others in over the world. So after this, I know that whatever it is, the government that support Israel, support the occupation, whatever they are doing now, they know now that the vast majority of the world know about Palestine, and this would never be like hidden again.
Yeah.
I mean, people started digging through our suffering. So from a long time, they know about the immigration from the first place at 1948. They started looking about our history, about the things that the occupation do to us. Gaza already was under siege for a long time. The medical health and every aspect of our life was on their knees, but it then collapsed and everything destroyed. Now you would like to know that everyone in Gaza is keen to go back to its home, to their home.
Yeah.
Even if it's destroyed, even if it's burned, they will go. Just I've heard so many guys say, "I would go just tonight, not tomorrow, not in the morning.
Yeah.
I would go now if they let me go." You know that after they evacuated Gaza, the north, they prevented anyone to come back to their home. No, it's one way. And we're still hoping that we can go back. We don't know when. We don't know if they will let us normally go back, and when the war will settle. But I believe that Gazans will rebuild the city again, and we will live here. We will just keep trying to bring Gaza and the old memories and the everything back as we once had, and better maybe. So I'm optimistic about the future. Maybe not the near future, because the destruction that's happened is like never before.
Yeah.
Like literally like never before. Not even in nuclear bombing, maybe in Hiroshima, because the area or the buildings, the number of the buildings that destroyed much more than anything before.
Yeah.
Many of the former organization, also compared it to more than the bombs were thrown at Berlin in the Second World War II. So I'm really optimistic about the future, because we are now we are known to have like a justice and rightful cause, and I believe people all around the world will stay recognizing us, will support us, will just know that we are under siege, under occupation, and the occupation now is exposed for their cruelty, for their massacres. I was doing my training in plastic surgery, and it's getting so much better than before. And I was so happy to have this all training in Gaza, in outside Gaza, all the missions. We know many people that were trying to establish our training program, and once it started in the 1st of October, just 1 week later, everything destroyed, everything. But as I said, for near future, I think it will have many months, maybe some years to recover from this. But for sure, for my people, they will start rebuilding their homes, start rebuilding their lives, But before that, we have to get like a while to adapt for what we have lost. We have to think about a loved one we have lost. So I'm thinking that it's not all the people here can tolerate what happened. Most of them want to leave, like evacuate, even not coming back after many losses, many struggles. The people in the towns, they are people with dignity, with which much high. Many of them are highly educated, highly, they used to have good lives, to have good place in the community, and so for them to be in a tent and to have to face hunger, cold, and all kind of danger and like this, they will never move on and go like forget about this. So I know many people will leave now Gaza, but as they say they would leave, I know for sure that they will come back to Gaza to rebuild it. Yeah,
it's your home,
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want the world to know?
I think many lies was out about Gaza, about the things happening. I don't talk about any politics, any armed stuff or something like that. I'm talking about the humanity in Gaza, the human warriors that faced something that never happened before. I want them to know that Gaza is, a life-loving people. We had many friends from outside, from the UK, the US, the Canada, people from around the world, from all over the Europe, that they came here, that they are like shocked about the situation here and shocked how this happened to us. We had people before and after war came here. They know that this is all just lies, only lies, that they are trying to show us as like all want cruel or something like that. So Gaza is full of capabilities, full of human resources, and if they have the chance to be free, as well as all Palestine, all the West Bank, and all people all over Palestine, so if they have the chance to, like, without occupation, they would do miracles, because we already have done many under siege. Siege is not an easy word. It's literally an open prison. They control us, moving in and out. They control what's going on and goes in by trucks and by goods. But they kept us like that for about 20 years now, and no one knew about it. And now everyone should know that we have been through a lot.
You probably don't know, but I'm Jewish, and it is really, obviously, has been very eye-opening. And I'm sorry for what is happening to your people, and know that, and I'm sure as you know, governments are not the representation of what people feel.
Yeah, and we don't like. I didn't know that you are Jewish. But I know many of maybe Jewish friends, and we don't look at Jews like that. Yeah. We only look at the occupation, the way that they are stealing our land. Yeah. They have always done, and we know that a lot of people, many people from the Jewish people and many of the even the all over the world, that they know the truth. And every day, every one life is matter to us. Every one life, and we are losing a lot of number. We have been shedding blood since now for 4 months,
Right.
and God knows, every life matters. Every single life matters, and it's really taking so long, and we hope that's end soon.
Absolutely. And I hope you stay as safe as possible. And I admire your courage and what you're doing, and also appreciate the fact that you're sharing a lot of this on social media, because it is really important. And you're a superstar.
No, no, I'm not. I swear I'm not. I'm not accepting that to anyone telling me that I do a great job, or maybe some called us like heroes or something like that. I think the real hero is the one who lost his entire family,
Yeah.
that he also staying sane. The one who are facing cold in the tents. Many of the paramedics who go through bombing and firing and so on, and we've lost a lot of them. I only try to do my work as much as I can, and to help my people, to help my patients. And I think always that I am afraid someday it comes and I say, did I did it at max, or did I just didn't do the max I could?
Yeah.
So I'm trying just to not to lose any opportunity to help other people, and I'm doing just my part of the story.
Yeah.
That's it, and I'm not doing anything special. Believe me. I'm so much fortunate than the one who lost his limb.
Yeah.
I am thinking about everyone that is losing his limb, or having a big wound or a large burn. So I'm so lucky. I'm blessed.
Yeah. Mohammed, thank you so much for speaking with me. I appreciate it.